Thank you, Lucy, for your question. It's a very interesting concept. I was at a meeting last week with an organisation called Visiting Arts in London. And the meeting was, what is innovation in Carnival? So again, I throw the question back, what is innovation? Is innovation just simply presenting something in a different context? Is it different? And there was a long battle of argument about what was innovative, what was new. In terms of heritage, it's important that cultural heritage is preserved, but not that it is an individual thing. I personally believe, my own thought is that not all cultural heritage is right. There are parts of our cultural heritage. I could say that the UK cultural heritage, slavery, was part of that cultural heritage. Was that right? So, in terms of looking at heritage, I like to see it from the perspective of what we celebrate that tells us something about our sense of place, our identity, and our culture. And those parts of our cultural heritage are celebrated and are nurtured and developed. When innovation comes, my own personal belief again, is where past traditions and heritage interact and fuse with present realities and with future aspirations. So culture for me is like yogurt. It is a growing organic thing that develops. If culture stays still, part of it dies. It then becomes older traditions. But we have to look at every generation, how we engage, particularly our young people, in not only the celebration of where we've been, we don't know where we've been, we don't know where we're going. So it's a relationship between time, between culture, and between heritage and innovation. Sorry, that was a bit muddled, but it was what I thought.
他有回答你的问题吗？谢谢。那下一个，绿色衣服的先生。
我是淡水国小姓郭。我有一个，应该是说，我知道我们刚办完嘉年华会。 可是我会发现说，在外面的宣传所谓的行销，也就是说，我们凝聚一个社区的凝聚力，这会才形成一个参与的能量。但是，如果我们只是在自己的世界里玩，我们如果走出这个框架，如果走出这个淡水镇，如何让人家看得到我们？那我们的特色是什么？那这个行销。 如何这个社区的行销的特色能够走得出去，让外人看得到，那这样子的参与程度呢比较广，那也才能够让这个社区能够更有活力。那我们想提的问题就是如何做行销，这是我的问题。谢谢。
Thank you for your question. Marketing and PR, sometimes I never understand and fully appreciate. Many times I am asked to buy advertising space for a carnival. Why? Why do you need to? When you have a carnival of 2,000 people, you have an audience already of 20,000. The best advocates for the marketing of Carnival are the participants and the families who come. For every one person that takes part, 10 people come. Auntie, uncle, friend, cousin, relative. This is our audience. So I often say to people in marketing and PR that one of the big questions from the Arts Council is audience development. You must develop your audience all the time, more. You know? The question you need to ask is, how big do you need to get? Is bigger better? Is it innovation? So that for me is an interesting question. The way we have approached marketing, internally we have our advocates, the people who take part, their families, their communities. Internally and locally, we also have a relationship with a private PR company who we pay, not to increase audiences, but to increase the profile of the work and to advocate the work. We also work with the city in terms of their already structured communication strategies, their marketing brochures, their tourism departments, so that we feature as part of the cultural offer of Liverpool. Predominantly, Liverpool's cultural offer is football and the Beatles. And very little else escapes into the outside world. So what we have tried to do, as well as other small festivals in Liverpool, is influence the larger city organisations and UK-based organisations who market the UK internationally in terms of tourism. Nationally, we work for our local PR organisation who has contacts with newspapers on a national level. We also do not restrict ourselves to press that is about events, arts. We work in the educational press, we work in the social housing press, we work in the press which looks at communities of interest and location and diversity. So we use many different types of press. As we know, the online community is growing and is vastly more important than print. Print is becoming really the dinosaur of the PR world. So what we have started to do is, my colleague at Bruhaha knows everything Twitter and blog and web. I missed something in that education. But we have the social networking sites, again, are both inwardly and outwardly looking and focused. In the international perspective, I think that continuing to work with the British Council in an advocacy capacity is also very important. I often wonder how Rio Carnival and Trinidad Carnival became such a vast industry and such a vast touristic destination. So we try to look at ways to increase that capacity, because obviously the city will see the event, politicians will see the event as more effective if there is a connection between cultural tourism. If this is bringing people nationally and internationally, which it has the capacity to do, all carnivals have that. It is a matter of time and artistic development and resource development. So again, it's about working at a local, at a national, and at an international level.